Hey MCC Adventure fans, a little different video today. I always get requests from my friends to start making videos of doing shop time. It's not usually my gig. I just like doing our travels and adventures, but we're always doing stuff in the MCC Adventure Shop. So today, I'm gonna teach you why it's just as important to detail your undercarriage, keep stuff clean, corrosion free as it is checking oil or any other part of maintenance. This Jeep went through the winter. Periodically, I usually do this a couple times a year, and I haven't done it after some of the salt on the road in the last winter. So I'm getting surface rust and things like that. And before the rust starts, I'm gonna stop it. So anyway, I'm gonna show you why this is important. So hang out. Peace. So here's a great example of why it's so important to get under your Jeep and start cleaning, painting, and keeping things detailed. We've all seen those pictures, and I see them all the time, people working on Jeeps. The underside, you can't even see the heads of the bolts. You know, there's so much corrosion on the bolts and dirt and filth. You just don't want to let that happen. So I've already found a major problem. I just got this on the lift. I'm starting to clean it. And cleaning is not just cosmetics and vanity. I'm inspecting welds, I'm looking at things, so while I'm cleaning and getting ready, so I get the wire brush out, start to, clean a little bit, and what do I find? That would be a crack. So that, obviously, right here, this crack, it's been cracked a little while, but you let that go, now you're on the trail with the bracket of the tree link messed up. So this is gonna have to get welded. I'm gonna go through with the wire brush and do some inspection, and then I will also, at the same time, nut and bolt. Nut and bolt is a term from race cars. You watch the race cars. Let me climb out from underneath here. I'm bending over like a hunchback. So nut and bolting in the race car world, go to the local short track, watch the late models, super late models, whatever. Every time the car comes into the pits, it's up on jack stands, the wheels are off. And even though everything gets checked in the shop before race day, every nut and bolt that's major bolts gets a hand put on it in between races. So I carry that same strategy over to my Jeeps to get under it. Nut and bolt is the term, because I've been on those trips with people and things are falling off of their equipment that should not be falling off. And then of course, Loctite in the right place is important. So I'm gonna do a little more filming. Show you a little bit of the corrosion dirt. It's not bad because I don't let it go. And so let me walk around and show you. I mean, some of the stuff I'm talking about, it's just surface rust, but my springs are, hit a little paint on the rust. This exhaust, I don't want to let that keep getting corroded, so it don't last long, but I got some really high temperature paint just to hit those header pipes with and back in the muffler. I've already cleaned it up. I mean, there's not much. I mean, you go over and you look at the U-joints. The U-joints are getting corrosion on them. Some of my body mounts around the bolts, getting some corrosion up around the bolts. Some of the brackets, that's probably the worst of it back here, a little corrosion. So I'll clean that up, get a little paint on it. And then at the same time, do a little greasing on the U-joints and stuff. So anyway, to make a long story short, this is just as important as any other part of maintenance. We've all seen those videos of guys out in the trail. Track bar brackets are a big one. Inspecting your track bar brackets. This one doesn't have that because it's triangulated rear suspension, but certain components, shock mounts, things like that, cleaning, you're gonna inspect this thing for welds. I mean, in the race car world for a long time, people do a lot of colors, but we would paint the chassis dove gray because the gray shows the cracks. A little harder with black. So I'm gonna get this done and then show you a little bit of the finished product when I'm done. I'm gonna have to grind this off to get a good weld. That's not ideal. Yeah. I didn't do the install on this, but this one's been broke before. Somebody's welded it and didn't do a very good weld job. And if you notice, I've got a I can take this off for now, but I got brake lines here, so the last thing you want to do is start welding and then burn a brake line. So, you know, especially if you got fuel lines, anything like that, you want to make sure that you protect them. Wire speed's a little fast, that's okay. There we go. Not too bad. Get that, so this bracket was broken, so I'm welding it over to this sway bar mount, and then I'm gonna have to get around to the backside and weld it. I need to clean it up a little bit more and go a little higher. But that's why you get under your Jeep and you start wire brushing, painting and cleaning, just for like stuff like that. Easier here than on the trail. That ain't gonna break now. All right, it's a little warm in the shop today. It's not crazy hot. I think it's gonna be about 90 degrees today. Should have started this earlier in the morning. It's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So I've got that weld finished up. I'm gonna let that cool a little bit, clean it up, hit it with a little paint, and then start doing a little other work underneath here. All right, I didn't bore you with all the cleaning and painting because, you know, I didn't get too carried away. This isn't a pretty boy project. This is a project of function. But there was a lot of corrosion up in here, and so these brackets are painted, and I missed a few things here. I taped off some heads of bolts and I went back and wiped these off. So I mean, paint it, but don't make a mess. You know, the control arms had a lot of corrosion. My exhaust was really getting corroded, and so I used a 2000 degree ceramic coating on the headers and around the cats just to kind of slow the corrosion down. I mean, eventually the pipes burn out and they go bad. So, you know, I didn't get too carried away. Wire brushed everything down, you know, hit some paint on the diffs, the diff covers. And what happens by cleaning it, let me get in the video here. I'm so good at this. So, like I said earlier in the video, two purposes to this. First purpose, cleaning is inspection. I don't care if I'm working on a race car or bicycle, what I'm doing. I clean it before I work on it and I inspect it because that's how I find cracks and problems. It's not a matter of just cleaning so it looks good. And the other thing is, once this is done the way I did this, even though, I mean, I didn't get carried away, it cleans easy. So you go out in the mud, the dirt, you go to the car wash, you wash it, the stuff comes off. But once you start letting layers of dirt and corrosion build up, you've got one heck of a job on your hands. So that's my tech tip for the day. You don't have to have a lift like this. Just take jack stands, get it up. So if you don't have a lift in a shop, go to Harbor Freight, get yourself some suitable jack stands, learn how to use them properly, and get it up off the ground, get your wheels off. That's my next step here. I usually take the wheels off and I haven't done it, so I'm gonna inspect my brakes in a minute and get these wheels off. But get under there and just start cleaning, looking. If it's corrosion, hit it with some Rust-Oleum, put a wrench on everything. And it's gonna save you from being out in the mountains and having a part fall off and you're stranded or calling for help. So anyway, that's my tech tip. Take it for what it's worth, right on.
I'll be there at the after party. Show up looking like a zombie. It don't matter, nobody stop me. I'll be there, just tell me where. Damn, I'm a long way home at a split road. Gotta make a choice, do I sober up? Am I trying to keep it going to be continued, or am I trying to lose?
All right, that's as much detail as this baby's gonna get. Now to get this off the lift and do some real repairs because I had a switch fail in my life. So get on with some other stuff. Get this baby down.
I don't think I wanna leave at a tough week. Gotta realize this is what I need. Still got the time to be counting sheep. It's too late, I'm in too deep. Don't wanna contemplate, overcomplicate this. And I made my choice, wanna see what's going on. I'll be there.